It's probably the best thing on this knife. Made in Canada. Yeah, I thought I'd make a video on this little knife I'm working on. It's a knife that I made out of an old file. And I thought I'd give some tips, little information bits on how to make this thing. So what you do is you grab yourself the old file, yeah, see? I think it's 1/4 inch thick. You take your file, right? Then you cut off, well, the way I did it, I cut off the little thing that sticks out that you hold on to. And then, with the same chop saw, I cut the angle off just to save some grinding. And then, on my grinder, I ground the curve in. And after I ground the curve in, it took me about half an hour because this is really hard steel. I started grinding the bevel, which is the hardest part on making a knife. Or the trickiest part on making an easy, simple knife like this. Unless you put a handle on it, which I want to do. Then it's a little bit trickier because I don't have much experience. So, anyways, the way I did it, grinding my bevel, is for the first few passes, I held it straight up and down to the grinding wheel. I turned it around and did the same thing till I had my basically just a white line ground, so I had a guideline not to grind past it. And yeah. And so I just ground it down fairly evenly, holding it at an angle. I'd hold it like that, and then just keep going back and forth on the grinder. I tried to get some footage on the grinder, but I was doing it in the dark because I wanted to get it finished. And I had to use both my hands to hold on to it because I didn't want to go flying. So, didn't get any of that. And then, so after I had ground the bevels, it was still a bit rough. And on the side of the grinding wheel, it's a little bit finer because it's not as worn. And I held it, because the bevel was established already, you didn't have to worry about holding it at the right angle, otherwise it would go off. And I just pushed it on the side of the wheel, the beveled part, and moved it back and forth for a bit, and then flipped it to the other side, and got it fairly flat, and then ground down some of the roughness of the file teeth on the back too. And I'm going to leave the handle just like this, or like the metal part like this, because I'm going to clean it out with a wire wheel on my Dremel, so the epoxy will stick to it better for the handle. And one important thing when you're grinding the bevel is you want to try and keep grinding on each side evenly, so it's in the middle of the point's in the middle of the knife. I think I did an okay job. So yeah, I might make a video when it's all done, but right now I'm just never-ending sanding, which is one of the most boring parts. Yeah, I got some decent scratches to get out yet. But yeah, it's a simple little knife. Thank you for watching.